Brandon, you said you wanted a critique of your ArtStation page, and I'm assuming kind of your artwork as well. So I'll walk through it as I just kind of landed on your page, and I'm, looking for people to hire, thinking about people to hire. So number one, I would take off your the link right here because it really doesn't have anything on your web page, right? So I would just take that down. There is something for the resume, but aside from that, there really isn't much to look at. So until you populate that, I would just leave it alone. Um, Under your summary, one, this sentence isn't really correct grammar. I'm a freelance character artist looking to help with 3D project. So that N sounds a little bit like a caveman. You could say with a 3D project. But even aside from that, it's not really inspiring. It doesn't lead me to want to find out more information about you. So you should have like a beefy paragraph there, like at least 5, 6 sentences, something that makes me want to hire you, makes me kind of get into your mind, see who you are as a person, as an artist, what you're trying to aspire to. Um, I didn't check all these, but just I would always go through, double check your links. So it looks like everything's good there. Um, Here's a good one to kind of look at too is look at what make sure your Facebook page is locked down and not showing anything that you wouldn't want a possible employer to see. So I don't really see anything just going through, I don't see anything that would, stop me from hiring you, but just always make sure of that. That's one thing I find a lot of people don't do enough double checking that stuff. So looks like your LinkedIn is going. Let's make sure that opens up, and that could be another thing, that we could take a look at in the future. But this right now is just your ArtStation. I don't know that I would link directly to DeviantArt. You're kind of doubling up on where to place your artwork that way. And if you're not actively curating both of them, you might end up having old stuff on your DeviantArt that you don't necessarily want to share with people. Skills look good. For software down here, one thing when I was looking at your page is I don't see anything that shows me you can use Marmoset Toolbag, UDK, XNormal, Substance, Painter, Designer. So I would leave those off for now. Because to me, if I'm an employer and I'm seeing you post that you know that stuff, I want to see proof that you know that stuff. So when we go over to your portfolio, I'm not seeing anything over here that says, XNormal, Substance Designer, Substance Painter, so Unreal, Marmoset. So none of these projects are showing that you can do that stuff, and maybe you can, but any person would question that if they're not kind of actively seeing proof. And when I'm looking to hire someone, I need the whole story right away. I don't have time to reach out and contact you to fill in those bits of information if I'm not seeing enough on your ArtStation page or whatever portfolio you're submitting. So just realize that any job that you apply to, there's probably anywhere from 20 to a couple hundred people that applied to that position. And any little thing that is off that makes me have to gather more information to find out if I want to hire you will probably make me move on to the next person. So out of those, let's say 50 people apply, maybe 10 of them have the art and the skills I'm looking for, and out of those 10, if you're one of those 10 and there's something off on yours and there's not on the other people, that automatically kind of puts you in the pile where I'm probably not going to hire you. Okay, I'm just kind of being honest and open here to give you a good example of what people look at. Under your 2D, I would honestly I would take it off. I don't feel that this is a strong enough piece that would make someone want to hire you for 2D. So, and there's only one piece, so I would just pull that down for now, especially because if we go back to your about, you're looking to be hired on, for a 3D project. So if you had really, really strong 2D work, and we could go to Pinterest or any place and start, or even ArtStation, start looking at other people's 2D work. If yours not on the caliber of the front page for your 2D work, I would just leave it off because it's probably going to hurt you a little bit more in looking for a job than helping you out. Okay. Now, if you were looking for 2D contract work, then I would push you to get stronger at 2D and keep replacing those pieces. But for now, I would just pull it down. Going back to your portfolio, let's go into 3D. So I would say your goal would be to come up with 3 really strong pieces and keep pulling down what's not strong. Okay, so right now your 3 strongest pieces are probably this first one, male anatomy sculpt, the third one here, and the fourth one. Now the third and the fourth look the same, they're just different costumes, which you could do, but I would try to change the females a little bit more than just having the costumes. So I would get rid of this one for right now. So you just have the 3. And then I would say the 3 right now are not strong enough to get you work. So I would push you to keep either working on these 3 or work on a new one that you can replace one of these with. When I go into the Ruby Girl one, you have these labels work in progress 1, work in progress 2, work in progress 3, but they're all, at least to me, they all look like the exact same image. So I would pull those down and just have one work in progress there. Also, if you're saying you're currently, working on the face, then just give me an up close of the face, or maybe you have that as your work in progress too, but show that there's actual progress on it. Okay. And then I would still say, art-wise, we could go into a critique with this. I won't go too far, but I would say I feel, I've seen your last couple posts, and I kind of feel like you're a little bit stuck, and you're not necessarily taking the last couple critiques that were given to you and pushing those, further forward. So whether you pick this girl as the one to keep pushing forward on, or you want to pick the male anatomy, either one's fine. But we got a big jump we need to make yet before we can get you to a hireable place. So I would say take a moment, pull back, regroup, get your thoughts really on anatomy, and pick one of these sculpts to really hardcore push forward with. And it's going to be a lot of studying on your part, not only just the community critiquing you. So if you're open to that, and we see you really pushing and making those changes. Okay, so I see actually between those work in progresses, I just noticed it's costume that you're changing. So I don't know that I would post that as actual work in progress. And to me, like, costume should be the last thing that you're focusing on. We really need to pull back and get your anatomy tight, get your understanding really there before we concentrate on a costume. So that's just me picking through your ArtStation page. I wanted to give you a solid view of what someone that's potentially hiring someone might think when they go here and look at this stuff. And I know sometimes it's hard to hear, but you can't move forward unless you really know kind of where you stand. So like I said, let's regroup. I would make the changes to your ArtStation page. So remove your 2D, fix some of the stuff in the About page. So make a nice paragraph. Take some of these off unless you're going to show me that you actually know them on your ArtStation page in some way. And then let's go back to the portfolio and take this one off for sure. But let's pick one of these to really work on and get it to a really strong point. Okay, I would say this is probably the second weakest one. So maybe you want to work on your male anatomy first and get this pushed really a lot further. But that's up to you. And when you're ready to move forward with this, I'd say take another pass at it, post it to the forum for a critique, but post it with your reference, okay, like side by side. And I would say find some realistic reference. Find some photographs of a guy that you're trying to model, okay? Because if you're modeling, if this girl is the reference that you're going off of for this, it's going to be a hard stretch to kind of get it there, okay? So again, just an open, honest opinion of what I would look at if this was sent to me and you were looking, to be hired. Hope it was helpful. Let me know if you need anything else.